So for you in TCR though, after your first year, how did you collect the sponsors like Pinch Partner? Because you kind of just went from like the state racer and got in there via viral internet, as you're known as the internet sensation, if you look it up, to getting like sponsors. So did the sponsors come through the viral video,
It was all just a hype train, mate. Like, and I've spoken to a few people about this. Like, it was like the storm had been brewing for a few years. Like, I'd known those guys for a couple of years before, and then that year in particular, the driving in 2017, it's like, you're driving, you're trying to go somewhere, and there's a bit of a hype train, and people wanted to be a part of it, and I was like, cool. So, and it was, and there were some people that were happy to support financially too, which was awesome, because we just don't have the finances any other way to do it. That's obviously one limiting factor, or one of the biggest limiting factors to getting in, progressing in motorsport. So, but the other factor is I had no idea how to get to that, the pathway, because I'd never been down it. As I said, I'd never done go-karts, never done Formula Ford. You're never around team managers or team owners or people of influence that will drag you through the ranks and progressively get you there. Yeah. No, I just had no idea, that path. And then the TCR thing came in it got announced in 2018. It'll be coming in 2019. And it was sort of like the Jordan Cox front-wheel drive guy sell. TCR's coming, he's a front-wheel drive guy. We know this guy in the series. And I spoke to ARG a bit, and once we sort of understood budgets of what required to do it, we just went, I guess we won't be doing that. So, but then, I had a few guys around me. Charlie Viola from Picture Partners. He I owe him so much. Like he put, he said, "Man, like, let's do something. What can we do?" And once I started to, Dave Wall got in contact with me. He sort of said that, there's a drive available. You need to bring some money. And basically, I said to Charlie, I got something. He's like, "Mate, yeah, happy to be on board. We'll support you." And then obviously that wasn't enough to cover the full budget. So then there was, need to get some more. So another guy chipped in more, then another guy, some other friends. It was sort of like this storm in a teacup that we put everything together and put it on the table. And so it was actually like putting out a hat almost, Sorry. And then away we went. And then because the biggest thing that people were more interested in seeing was, how does Jordan go on a national level? Yeah, okay. Because it's all good and well winning improved production races and doing well at 6 hours, but that's just nothing compared to the higher level of motorsport. To me, your three competitive classes are, supercars, Super 2, Porsche, TCR. That's where it's sort of really at, with top drivers, top teams. Do
you rate Trans Am?
Yeah, but it doesn't have the depth. Yeah, okay. Of those categories. So all those categories have at least 20, 15 guys that are just there to just race and prove a point and be the next champion. Yeah. You've only got 5 or 6 of those blokes in Trans Am. Yeah. Maybe a bit more now, but half of it's a gentleman's category. Yep. Half of it's races, which I like. Yeah. Which I actually think should bloody be what we're doing. But yeah. Instead of having 20 TCR cars, we're going to have 40. Right? Yeah. So.
So there's like a rec system in the TCR team?
No, there's not. But it's just the way the series has evolved. Is only gun drivers want to do it. All your pro-ams are turned off because there's nothing for them to race, which is a separate topic again. So that's why they race Trans Am, because you get a trophy for coming 15th. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's the Masters Club. Sweet. Yeah. Everyone wants a feel-good story. So, basically – and then, did the first round and it was fastest in the wet and was leading the first race until I came together with Moff on the first lap.
Was this the Honda, or is the Honda your first drove?
Honda, yeah. And I was quick. Look, I was quick straight out of the box. So fortunately, I got to prove on my first outing that I actually can drive. I'm fast enough. I can actually hold my own with these guys. It was funny. I came away from that thinking I finished 3rd or 4th in the races, and I was like, I felt as though I was missing like an edge.
Yeah.
And I obviously never told anyone at the time. And anyway, look, the next thing, GRM was trying to talk about getting the next round with Walls, and we didn't have enough finances to do it. And then Gary called me up. He got wind that I was, interested in driving further in the category, but then after got talking, there wasn't really an opportunity there. And then Jimmy Vernon was out because I think they ran out of money. And then basically just Gary put a deal on the table, said, mate, you can do that. And it worked with all the sponsors. There was enough finances. And I said, yep, sweet, we'll do it. Something that Wall Racing couldn't offer. So next thing you know, here we are racing TCR. And Gary, huge respect for the Rogers guys. They there's no free rides at GRM, but there's they give opportunities where there aren't other opportunities elsewhere. So,
what do you think of the GRM combine that they're doing? That's pretty cool. Every year.
I think it's cool.
It's for mechanics and drivers now, isn't it? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Or engineers and
the mechanic thing I'm not quite all over yet. Like I'm not really actively involved in it. Obviously trying to introduce people to motorsport and see what it's all about. I think it's a great idea. So not quite sure how that works. But the driver thing, it's not a shootout. It's not a fastest guy wins. It's a genuine go race some cars for a few days in Tasmania. You got nothing to worry about. You got no distractions. You got fast cars. You got serious cars. You've got a race team environment with engineers and then you've got Marcus Ambrose, your driver guy.
NASCAR champion.
Two-time supercar champion.
Yeah.
In your ear, and mate, the wealth of knowledge that guy has is just mind-blowing. Every time I speak to him, I just go, oh, my God. So and still a lot of his driving stuff is relevant today. So, to go and do that, and I think it's a reasonable budget to do it, awesome. Yeah.
You had a go on an S5000, didn't you? Didn't you test it?
I still haven't driven an open wheeler.
Oh, I thought you did.
I drove Aaron Cameron's car to the grid once.
Oh, I thought you had a test. I thought you had an S5000 test.
No. Like we were speaking to Barry about jumping in one, but we've never really
got to it.
Yeah. So,
but has he offered you obviously the S5000 thing? Has he offered you the Trans Am as well to have a go in, or not really?
No, Trans Am. Look, there's so many drivers and cars happening in GRM that sort of got to focus on what doing. So,
do you know why though he decided to leave supercars for just the ARG thing, or not really? Do you have a fair idea? Did you think?
Yeah, like I've spoken to the boys about it, and it's I think in its simplest form it came down to the budget and the resources to run it, and not so much their lack of resources. It was that they couldn't utilise their resources.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you go down to Kitchen Road in Dandenong and see the GRM outfit,